let's do this. Dean, do you want to host it? Or do you want to?
I can. I do have to hop off at 45. So
let's
unfortunately, I
do
just have
both. You start and I'll jump in afterwards.
Perfect. Thank you. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Impact Mini Fest from the Central Africa Town Hall. We're super excited to have you all here. Proposals in Fund9, a lot of familiar faces and new friends. So you guys will have 5 minutes to present and then 5 minutes for Q&A. Simple and straightforward. I hope you're ready to go for it. I would like to get a volunteer for the first spot.
Yeah, so Ninh, maybe we can, before that, because we don't have the schedule written up. So if you could put up your hand, if you have a proposal to present, just put up your hand first, and then we'll get that recorded. I know I do, so I'll do that as well. Ninh, you do as well.
Yes.
Raise hand. And who else? Ninh has some, so then we can get an idea of who's here to present and who's here to listen and ask. Boaz as well? Okay. All right. Did you want to present in a French class, in a French room?
French class.
Yeah, French class.
English.
In English. You're welcome to do both if we have enough time. That would be pretty sweet. Okay. So there you are, Ninh. We have an idea of who's going, and
awesome.
Perfect.
Awesome, Melanie. Since you're gonna be closing us out, why don't you? Would you like to get start us off?
I can do that. Just let me get my slides up real quick. Thank you for putting me on the spot. I like that though, because in a way, when you think about it, as proposers, we need to be prepared, spur of the moment, to be able to share our proposals, and having
exactly
a 1 minute pitch to get people interested in it. This is kind of a little proposal help, you know, from coming from Cardano for climate. And you can start my timer. I'm fine with that as well. But you know, being ready on the spot, get your links. If you can do a little recording in English or in your heart language, have subtitles in English to keep that connection going. So I am going to go ahead and share my screen. The proposal I'm sharing today is a crazy idea. Thank you, Ninh. It's a challenge I put in kind of the last minute, not quite to the last minute, but it's been an idea that I've had for a very long time. And even ImpactFest is a part of this heart of mine to connect people, because what I see across Catalyst is 1,100 proposals and people repeating things over and over and over again. And people aren't making those connections up until now. Regeneration opportunity for Cardano is a challenge. Fund9 needs to be voted in. It's a Fund 10 challenge, so it's different than a proposal. It's $250,000 challenge. And the idea is to find, the question is, what regenerative solutions and use cases will seed and grow Cardano adoption in 2022 and beyond? And why is it important? We need regenerative, and regenerative is not sustainable. Sustainable means that you're kind of keeping the same stuff. We have to actually come in and make things better than when we came in. So that's where regenerative comes in. Open source, so that this can be scalable and shared with other people. Transparent, so that we can increase trust and get people on board, because we've all been part of, you'll hear from Raphael at some point, the lack of trust in non-government organizations because it's not transparent. So we want all these good things about blockchain to come in. And what does success look like? Individuals collaborating on processes, integrated products, and real world solutions with tangible climate action and UN SDG, Sustainable Development Goal impact. Thank you, Ninh. So, and it's a collaborative effort. It's something where we come together as a group. We work with this. Every proposer in this is going to be required to meet once a week and collaborate on this challenge. So we're taking the idea of idea scale and bringing it down to a smaller impact related challenge. And we're going to set an example of what collaboration looks like. We're going to come in below budget. Fund 7 showed me that we've been competing for resources, not only our forest, but our limited resources in developers and in funds. So we're going to come in and collaborate and figure out how we can make these work and set an example. So regeneration opportunity for Cardano is a challenge. It's an opportunity for Cardano to set the stage. And I believe it's an opportunity for us, each one of us, to jump in on board. Totally crazy idea. Have no idea how this is going to come together, because it's not just my idea, it's everybody's. So thank you for that. And I am open to questions. Make them hard if you want, make them soft, whatever you like.
Wow, thank you, Melanie. You still have a minute left on the presentation.
That's okay.
Yeah, you know, I love any regenerative opportunities and things that are sustainable, right? What do you see is like the biggest challenge to go from competition to collaboration?
Learning how to collaborate. That to me is the biggest challenge when we come in with our own ideas, our own agendas, our egos. How do we actually come to a place where we'll listen to each other? I'm not very good at this. I've been thrown into this position, but I'm going to be the first one to admit that I don't listen well. And sometimes I miss what other people have. What I have found in this past year is that when I do listen and when I do open up to possibilities and I don't hold on to something really tight, then it gets so much better. Mini ImpactFest is exactly this. So if we have come with an idea, maybe it's a solution on Cardano, maybe it's, you know, something that you think is absolutely, you know, you're going to get rich off of, bring it here and make it better, make it bigger, and you'll have a wealth beyond fiat wealth. Sorry, I do get passionate about this subject, and thank you for that question, Ninh. So we also have John Buck from Governance Alive on board. He's willing to help us create these collaborative spaces and help us come to consent, where it's not a voting, where we actually listen to each other and make sure that everybody's on board. Because the worst thing that can happen is that you have an idea and somebody doesn't like it, you don't listen to it, and you've suddenly got an anchor and you're not going anywhere. So until we can come to agreement, which is another big challenge of listening, then we move forward with that. So I wake up some nights and go, what in the world have you done putting this challenge in here? Because it's going to be a lot of work, but I have hope because we're in the right place. I get tired of listening to my own voice though, so please.
Awesome. Thank you, Melanie. Does anybody here have a question for Melanie about the proposal?
I did drop
awesome.
I did drop the link in the chat for Telegram. If something about this is interesting, just join us. Not much is happening right now. And the other thing is, if we don't get funded, it's okay. We're going to be working on some really amazing proposals, period. Collaborations, whatever comes out of this, we're going to make it work. I'm not going away if we don't have funding. Been here fund after fund. So, okay. Thank you, Ninh. I'm sure my time is up now.
Thank you, Melanie. You've been always the heart behind anything that's related to impact environment. With Yoram together, you guys have created an amazing movement. I'm very lucky, as are many, to be part of very small part of that movement, and to be able to create space for other proposals to present and have their voice today. All right, so who would like to go second? So I saw Jeremy, Boaz, and others. Jeremy, you want to take the spot?
Well, Ninh, you said you have to leave earlier, so I would give you the
Okay. Yeah, I do. If you guys don't mind, I was asked to present about the onboarding devs with impactful events. So let's see if I can. Thank you.
Do you want slide? Oh, you got the slides. Awesome.
I do. Just 2 slides, and then we'll have other things. So this proposal is actually by the C4C Climate team, and it's about onboarding devs to impactful events. It's in a F9 developer ecosystem, and the problem is that we have a huge community full of ideas, skills, talents, and there's a lot of talent and developers that don't find a ton of meaningful projects that actually drive collaboration together, right? And usually there's a lot of, like Melanie mentioned, there's a lot of projects and proposals and teams that kind of, or solo founders or solo people that work on projects by themselves. And in order to create the world-changing killer apps, and instead of just hello world apps that just get launched and built, but do not have real impact and real adoption, we need to really start organizing meetings like these, where maybe like mini ImpactFest or Collaboration Fest, right? Where teams can come together, propose what they are working on, and see if there's other members within our community that would like to jump on the bandwagon, and form teams, something like something that Little Fish is doing, or we're doing, and other people are doing, to create more effective, stronger teams that collaborate and build a stronger community together. The goal is to go from this, where you're by yourself in your skyscraper, right, to something like this, something like the, Cardano for Climate, or the ImpactFest are hoping to create, which is collaborative environment for different people and members within the Cardano community. Let me share with you the onboarding checklist, not the onboarding checklist, the proposal itself. Here we go. Please do check it out. We're asking for $13,300, and this really is to provide both professional and volunteer staff from the Cardano for Climate's team to be able to host more of these events on continual basis, such as, Cardano for and climate change, Cardano and trees, regenerative agriculture and blockchain in February, plastics and Cardano, and on-chain impact in June. So if you guys were able to join some of those, and they usually happen every single week, almost every single week, three weeks in a month, right, with a week break for across the Fund 10. And one of those is the ImpactFest. So the team has obviously done it before. We're doing it right now. And it culminated in something called the ImpactFest, where we had different speakers, different organizations. And really it's just me, WADA, Emurgo Academy, Gimbal Labs, we all came together to collaborate. And there's many different organizations, and that event drove about 100 attendees. So for the cost, I think that we are we've already helped many different teams to even find their collaborators, find other projects to collaborate with, and perhaps, like, the truth is not every proposal will get funded in this fund, but in the next fund, maybe together, right, the different proposals can band and create a stronger proposal together. All right. Any questions?
Amazing job, Ninh, coming in
Thank
like
you.
this. Just wondering about that C4C team behind these events. Do they know what they're doing?
You know what? I'm going to tell you the answer is yes. A lot of these things is building a plane as you fly it, right? And they have all taken deep plunge into the abyss of solving big problems. The logo of C4C is a small snail. I call it the small giant that is inevitably moving forward to solve huge problems, right? When you think about climate in the earth, we only have one earth. There's no other, right? Maybe Mars, maybe Moon at some point, but technology is not there. So we really need to be good stewards of this, and the timing is now, right? Even yesterday.
Beautiful. And as far as event, Laurentine, you have a question? Oh, you're on mute.
I don't have a question, but I was very excited listening to the proposal, because we are trying to do the same thing in Burkina Faso. You see, recently we created a group of developers, because they are, as you said, they are working like they are on their own. We want to create a sort of community with them. So we created a group, quite a number of them registered for that. And it is with the Burkina Faso hub. So I created a group. I don't really know, because I'm quite new to the ecosystem. I think I'm going to learn a lot from this. I would like to get to know more about this proposal, because it's something that is really interesting to me.
And this is what it's about. You just connected with this proposal, and another group isolated in Catalyst. You're isolated until you start recognizing and coming together with this. The other thing that I see about developers is Plutus is a really hard language. Why are you doing this? Like, all of a sudden you hit this roadblock. I hit roadblocks all the time right now. I have my why. I'm here because I'm concerned about clear cutting rainforests on Vancouver Island. I have my why, I have my goal, I have my reason to get up every morning and come and do this. And I believe that this is the idea behind this proposal. Sorry, I'm not asking a question because I know Newman wrote this, and I know why we do this is because we want to give people purpose. The other thing, just to clarify, we don't do this every week, Ninh, thank goodness. Whew, that would be a little bit of a challenge. We have a community weekly meetup, which is pretty casual, but we have a monthly event that's going to be focused on topics, onboarding. This one now before voting, getting people together. The next one will be onboarding, where we hope to have people come together before they write the proposals, so that we can get that collaboration happening and sharing that workload before. So I'm looking at the time, and I am watching the time. We've got 2 minutes, Ninh. Any other questions on this one?
Just that, the team, we're not asking only for votes, but please join us. This is a movement. Anyone is free and welcome. We do meet every week, and it kind of leads and accumulates in bigger events, just like ImpactFest and others, where we bring more speakers, and it's fun. It's educational, right? Bringing people together is the whole goal. I have to unfortunately hop off. We'd love to keep in touch. I posted the link in the chat. And Melanie, I'm heading off to you. If you guys are looking for developers, let's drive more people, not only to collaborate, but drive more people, especially developers on Cardano, so that we can deliver on the things we promise. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, Ninh. And you
Yeah.
had a minute to spare. I did drop in the link to the Telegram chat for the event planning. Laurentine, if you want to jump in on that, that'd be amazing. Yeah, we'll do this together, and it's not necessarily a C thing, it's our thing. We're all part of Cardano for Climate if we care about that. All right, so I really have no idea if I'm going to be able to do anything like Ninh did just now. Jeremy, I'm going to let you come up next, get you going. And we have Zachariah, you're going to be up. Oh, Boaz, you're also presenting. Zachariah, did you want to present your proposal as well? I won't start the timing yet, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Zachariah, did you want to present as well?
Do you mean me?
No, Zachariah's here. I saw him in the room. He has a proposal on agri supply chain.
Yeah, I also have a proposal. By the way.
Okay. Now, how are we? Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm still writing.
So you know what what might happen is that we could split up into more rooms because we will run out of time to get a really close connection.
Or we do like.
I didn't like that. I know, we did these 3-minute speedo presentations and I felt like we missed the connection. Let's go for it though. Jeremy, are you game for that? We're going to do quicker.
Yeah. I have no problem with that. I have no problem. Yeah.
Okay,
sure.
I'm going to change the time.
Already quite small, right? So
I'm going to change the time to 3 minutes each. Okay.
Perfect. That's okay.
Thank you, Jeremy.
So yeah, I'm from PeerPost, actually the founder of PeerPost, and my background is development work. So I lived in Sierra Leone, Nigeria. I went from incubation program to kind of solve this issue because I experienced myself living in 2 African countries that parcel delivery is very expensive, right? And here I'm just picking some numbers which show the domestic prices of parcel delivery in South Africa, Kenya, Sierra Leone, and Nigeria, and compare them with Germany. And then when you take in the average income, you see for people living there, it's really, really expensive to send parcels. And if you think about sending parcels even abroad to neighboring countries or international delivery, it's getting even more expensive, right? And this is the price is only one problem. There's another problem with African postal service. And this is actually data coming from the UPU, which is the Universal Postal Union. It's a UN body, an official UN body measuring the postal infrastructure in various countries. And at the map, you see the more orange, the more red it is, the poorer the infrastructure is built. And this is reflected by, for example, the number of post offices or the number of home delivery per population, and also by the global postal workers employed within this region, right? And if we want to solve this, there's 2 options right now, right? The one option would be the governments, African governments would put in now billions of dollars within the next 5 to 10 years in order to boost up the infrastructure and the postal delivery service, right? But this is not going to happen, right? Because there's lack of money and there's lack of maybe also intention. So we think about a different solution, a peer-to-peer solution which is decentralized and is building on Cardano and is governed through a DAO. And how would this work? Well, we would connect people who are senders and who are transporters, right? And both sender and transporter, they live in the same city. And the sender wants to send something to city B. And the transporter goes there anyways to city B, so he has capacity to carry it. He either goes by his own car or by public transportation, right? So they negotiate a price and the transporter picks it up and then delivers it to the destination, to the recipient. There's a problem, right? There's a problem that you would never pay the transporter in advance and give him your parcel, your postal item without knowing him. He's a stranger basically, and he would run away. So we need here an escrow solution, right? We need kind of an insurance that the transporter is not running away with your parcel, but that he's doing his job. And here smart contracts come in handy because they align the economic incentives of the transporter to deliver the parcel through the smart contract technology, which is basically an escrow service. And we want to become a DAO, and those are our two proposals. Please, any questions?
See, this is hard. This
Yeah,
is very hard. How much are you asking for your your proposal?
Right, so we have two proposals. One is the production of the MVP, which is 22K, and the other one is the testing on the ground, where we're gonna work with WADA and with ICE artists together, which are two stakeholders in the Cardano ecosystem. So because, I mean, right now we are working on a problem solution fit, right? But we need the product market fit, and the product market fit we only can do with people on the ground, right? Like trying it out, if it's working, and what they really need for functionalities. And so we have those two proposals.
Boaz, you have a question.
Yes, Jeremy, how are you going to make really real your proposal in a short sentence, please?
How do we to realize it? You mean like to implement?
Of course,
it?
yes. Yeah. The implementation, the realization.
Right. So there's two parts, right? There's the MVP. The MVP is basically the front end, which we are already working. So we have the design of our app and connecting it to the back end. That is going to be the MVP, and the testing would be then with WADA. Basically, we provide our app to them, and then they test with the local networks this app and give us feedback. That's how we do it. Was that understandable, comprehensible?
Yeah, they're good. And I'm trying to read it in Project Catalyst. It's good.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, we are trying to do the lean startup approach, right? We are not asking for a lot of money because nobody knows if this idea is going to work out at the end, right? This is something new. This is like somebody 20 years ago told you about the idea of Airbnb, right? You would have said, what? Sleeping at somebody else's place? No, that's not going to work, right? And this is also something like, this is sharing economy kind of, you know, like using capacities which are not used, right? Because people go there and they can take something with them usually, but there's a problem, and we try to solve it with technology. Yeah.
Any other questions for Jeremy?
So basically, on our website, this peerpost.io, you find also the links to our two proposals. So if you go here on the website, those are the two proposals. You can look into more detail.
And that has contact information in them as well, right?
Yeah,
can you drop that in the link?
I will too. Yeah, I will. Too.
Okay, so we have, if you can stop share for me, that'd be great. Okay. Sean, you have a question before we go?
Oh, sorry. I was a bit late
okay.
there. Raising my hand. Hello, everybody. Sean Murphy here from ImpactFest. Jeremy, fantastic proposal. I was wondering if you'd done some market research, because there are actually quite a lot of parcel delivery services that emerged in sub-Saharan Africa in the last 3-4 years. Kenya, Rwanda, Uganda, for example, have lots of boda parcel delivery services. Linked to mobile apps. I don't know. I just wanted to find out if you'd done a lot of research and what you learned from it.
Yeah. So there is in various countries there is this kind of it's quite small yet, but they usually, so they're not working on blockchain, right? They are working on trust, basically. So you trust this kind of company, this agency to do this, and that is true. And usually they are also very localized in that sense. So from my research, we did not find any really big one covering like a whole country or something. And it's also, of course, about the costs, right? So our idea is, of course, this service is going to be the cheapest as it can be, right? Because this is a side hustle basically for the transporter, right? This is not a main business. He's just going to make like $2-3 on a trip he would do anyways, right? And I don't think this is you can compete with that. If this is you would do it with a person you basically charge for this kind of service, right? Yeah.
Okay, time's up. Can you guys carry that conversation on? If you have more, that'd be awesome. So we have a bit of a challenge as far as time is. I need a hands up who's coming next. Boaz is up next. We have Zuhair. Raphael is here. I'm not sure. It looks like we ended up with a few extra people in our room. For time wise, we're going with 3-minute presentations and 3-minute Q&A. Boaz, if you've got 2 proposals, unless you can combine them into one, let's go one at a time, but we'll put the second one after everybody else, if that's okay. Are we okay with that? All right, I don't see any shaking heads. So Boaz, if you're ready, you can go ahead and present.
Good, let me share my screen, please.
You can share it, correct?
Yeah.
And your time is starting right now.
Great. Can you see something, please?
I don't see anything at, oh, there it is, yes.
Great. Okay, can you see something? I can go on.
We can see the presentation. Is there a way of making it a slideshow if you want?
Good.
This
Great.
works.
Great. The proposal is the KYC, know your customer. You can say know your clients. It is submitting block within the crypto space. Many regulators requires it without offering it. Onboard users through water hubs. These hubs are located in several countries in Africa and are destined to grow over time in person collection of biometric identity and conversion into DIDs. GOMA Cardano Harbor is the presentation of our group. We have regulator Haskell and Bluetooth training since September 2020, and a stake pool running several testnets. We have 4 developers and technical professionals. I'll show you the link for watching order. Yeah, about our solution, many dApp do not require KYC, but this is likely to be an exception than a norm if crypto is to be adopted in the mainstream. Through the GOMA Water Hub, we offer to collect identification data through the registry, supplement the collected data with biometric data, save applicable information and biometric data to the blockchain with proper encoding. The Cardano ecosystem needs more thriving dApp product and integration that can be used by communities. KYC Registry is a great decentralized alternative for registering customers. This gives more reasons to people to interact with the Cardano blockchain and drive more adoption and innovation. The main risk in the delivering of this project is the difficulties for people to give their biometric information for the registry. We are working on a project of genealogy registry in GOMA, funded in previous Fund 8, that can be used as alternative for acquiring biometric information. About the roadmap, review the KYC process to adapt it to the local context. Websites to generate information and visualization tools for user tracing, 3 months. Create issuing certificates that water validators will be using to onboard users. Onboard high school students at final examination centers by allocating 1 header in each wallet for early birds. Wallets holding the IDs are being developed for the Atala Prims, the ID standard. Offer wallet integration to produce the ID visually. Users can attack pictures and other metadata, both off-chain and on-chain. Offer mobile integration for handheld visualization. Date due to PAB integration challenges, but the team will implement it beyond the funding scope. Milestones, designing KYC decentralized application for array-based DID, serialization and reproduction. Create and offer Atala Prims, the ID issuing keys for huge KYC services. Graduating users are issued the ID. And 5,000.
Sorry,
yeah.
We've gone up to 5 minutes for presentation and we're down to 1 minute for Q&A. Can we open up to questions first?
Of course, yeah.
Or do you have something else you want to add?
No, that's all. It's I've given the main idea of the proposal.
Thank you. And I'm apologize for cutting you off like that. Do you want to stop your screen share? And this would be good to put your links in the chat as well. Questions for Boaz?
I have a question. So we know that there's Atala Prism, right? Why do we need another solution for that? Building another solution. In what sense is it different or better than Atala Prism?
Sorry, Melanie.
Yes.
No,
you need
I'm looking the translator. Where is her?
Laurentine, ok, il dit que Cardano a déjà Atala Prism et pourquoi donc avons-nous besoin d'un autre système pour pouvoir implémenter le projet dont vous avez parlé?
Yeah, at the beginning, what I've said, and what you know, in Africa, we have really the problem with blockchains. And what I've said, know your customer is a stumbling block within the crypto space. Many regulators requires it without offering it. That's the big problem. We would like to offer that because we think people are using crypto pour faire la fraude, quoi. Je pense que Laurence me comprenne. Et les blanchissements d'argent. Nous pensons qu'avec les KYC, aussi avec les prélèvements des empreintes digitales, ça pourrait aider. Laurence, vous pouvez m'aider?
He said because in Africa, people are using cryptocurrency for money laundering. Yeah, so he's trying to say that we should know our customers. What applies to other places does not necessarily apply to Africa. So that is why they need to build that system.
Beautiful. And how much were you asking, Boaz?
For KYC?
For the proposal.
Le montant de votre budget.
33 500.
33,500.
Okay, thank you. Any more questions? All right, I think we're kind of cheating on the time. Amelia, did you have a question?
Absolutely.
Internet seems to be a little bit sketchy there. Up next, I believe, is Zuhair.
Hello.
And then Raphael, just going to double check. Zachariah, were you going to present? You might be just listening in. Okay, Zuhair, you are up. And are you okay with 3 minutes for your presentation?
I will try my best to finish as quick as possible.
Thank you.
3.5 minutes probably.
What I'll do is I'll put this up at 3, and if you go over, then we'll just cut into the Q&A a little bit, okay?
Okay, yeah.
Here,
Can you
here
see
we
my
go.
screen?
Yep.
Okay, first I would like to thank you for this opportunity and for allowing me to present my proposal. My name is Zuhair Abdein from Nifty Souq. The title of our proposal is Add ADA to First NFT Marketplace in MENA. So Nifty Souq is the company I work in, is the first and largest NFT marketplace in the Middle East and North Africa. The problem we want to solve is that there is no local NFT marketplace which supports local languages and categories to create and sell NFTs using Cardano. Our proposed solution to the problem is to expand and develop our existing NFT marketplace to the MENA region, exposing and enabling a new NFT community on Cardano. Okay, the challenge we are targeting is dApps, products, and integrations. This is because we are delivering a dApp marketplace and integrating Cardano to our platform. Succeeding to do this will allow users to interact with Cardano, which will lead to more feedback, growth, and innovations. Our proposal contains 3 major milestones. The first one is the integration of Cardano into our marketplace. Since we already have a working product, we do not need to create the entire marketplace from scratch. The second milestone is acquisition and education of users. We had great success in providing education services to the MENA community through our existing marketplace. We now plan to conduct a similar process on Cardano. Last but not least, PR and marketing. Since we are already working on PR and marketing for our current platform, the infrastructure for this phase has already been built. Okay, so why do we think you should vote for us? First of all, the team. Our team is considered as a pioneer in the region when it comes to crypto and NFTs. The second thing is our experience. We believe that our experience will provide value to the Cardano community and increase adoption. Also, our community, we have reached out to many creators and artists since our launch, and we established a special community. Finally, our vision. We have short-term and long-term visions to ensure that Cardano reaches its potential in the region. And this is it. Thank you for your time, and I hope you liked our proposal.
Thank you.
I will send our proposal link in the chat. And
already
you can connect
done.
with me if you like.
Already
Perfect.
sent in there, Zuhair.
Thank you.
Now,
Let
if you
stop
could.
sharing my screen, yeah.
Perfect. Well, that was exactly 3 minutes.
Okay,
so
perfect.
My question for you is, how does this relate to social and/or environmental impact built on Cardano?
So basically, as we all know, Cardano we already have Ethereum on our platform, and as we all know, Ethereum is not very green. So adding Cardano will be a better green solution for the region in order to trade and buy NFTs.
Okay, and is this open source? The proposal you have, is it open source, or is it proprietary where it's a business and for-profit business?
It's a business. It's a private business, but of course everyone can use our website. Anyone who is interested in buying or selling NFTs, creating NFTs, can use our website.
Okay. Any other questions?
What is the sense of having local or regional online NFT marketplaces?
Yeah, so we all know OpenSea. OpenSea is the global #1 NFT marketplace. OpenSea doesn't support our local, let's say, categories. We have specific categories for, let's say, our culture and the countries in our region. OpenSea doesn't support these categories. That's #1. #2, OpenSea doesn't support the main language in our region, which is Arabic. So our website supports that. Also, we have integrated a much easier way for people to buy and trade NFTs. OpenSea is a bit complicated for people who are new to crypto. You have to create an e-wallet and a MetaMask and stuff like that. We found a solution to that, and we created a single sign-on solution where you just sign in using Google, and we create an automatic wallet for you, and you can use a credit card to buy NFTs. No need for an external wallet.
Okay, so last question, unless Jeremy, you had another one. How much are you asking out of the fund?
We're asking for the 3 phases I talked about for $111K.
Do you know what % of the total fund that is for the challenge?
1.2%, I think.
Okay, 1.2% out of dApps and integrations.
Yeah,
okay, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
We have anybody else up? Raphael, you're up for presenting.
Thank you, Melanie. And hello, everyone. Let me share my screen.
And I'm starting the timer now. Ahlan wa sahlan.
Ahlan. Okay. So our project, it's CNGO. It's Cardano NGO, co-support ecosystem. We changed the name to Returning Trust to Global Donations. I will tell you the story, how we came up with the idea. On the 4th of August in 2020 in Lebanon, we had one of the biggest blasts in the world. So from all over the world, we received donations. All the donations in billions, they came to the country and they disappeared. So all the help was internal, and all the donations coming from the external markets, they disappeared. So from here, the idea came up. All the NGOs, even NGOs during this time, they came out of the blue just to receive donations. So mainly, nothing was transparent, everything disappeared. So the problem is that we came up, and by the way, this problem, it's global, it's not just for Lebanon. So all the NGOs are receiving donations, but it's all about confidentiality. So in case you're donating to an NGO, they tell you, thank you, and this is it. You don't know all the donation, where are going, where they are spending, for which cause, everything disappears. So the solution that we came up with is to create a platform and to onboard all the NGOs globally, all with their supported cause. So mainly the donor will donate on this platform. The money will go to the pool of the chosen NGO, but the money won't be released to the NGO unless they show us proof that what they're gonna do with the money. So we have an auditor who will audit all the invoices received from the NGO. And if there is any lack of document or intentionally, the money won't be released to the NGO. And it will be removed from our platform, and put in a in a section called banned NGOs. So we're gonna work also as a bad publicity for the NGO who are not cooperating with us. So we're trying to make everything transparent for the donors. This way, we're gonna give the trust back to the NGOs who are willing to support the cause, who are truly working to support humanity, and donors will have faith in these NGOs and increase the donations globally. Mainly the benefits using the Cardano blockchain. First of all, the low transaction fees and the fast transactions. You can track all the donations through this platform. And as I said, any misbehavior, it will be easily reportable, and the NGO will be delisted. The impact is universal, and any donor can choose any NGO globally. And even the donor can donate anonymously or publicly. So it's his option. So this is as a phase 1. In phase 2, we're gonna also integrate a list of vendors for NGOs. This way, all the transaction will be on chain. Let's say an NGO want to support, let's say they need to get food for poor kids. They need a supplier, a food supplier. So the food supply will be available on the platform. This way, the money will be transferred from the pool of the NGO directly to the pool of the vendor, and the vendor will ship the food to the NGO. So mainly the money is on chain and it won't be off chain. So this way, the donor can track all the process on the platform. And for the later stage, let's say after 1 year, we're gonna see the donors. Based on his donation, we're gonna airdrop NFTs. So let's say the first tier will be the silver NFT, the next one will be the gold NFT, and the third one will be the platinum NFT. So based on your NFT, you're gonna get APY. We're gonna create a staking pool, and we're gonna create our own token. So this way you can stake your ADA based on your APY that you receive from the NFT and from based on your donation. And you stake ADA, and the rewards will be our token. So mainly this is
Raphael, we'll need to wrap it up because we've gone into 5 minutes already.
Actually, I'm done.
Okay, perfect.
This is our platform.
Let's just give a few, if you can stop your screen share, that'd be awesome.
Yes,
a little bit of Q&A, connections, questions for Raphael. Jeremy, what do you got? I have a feeling you've got some questions.
Yeah, I'm the critical German, right? I'm sorry. No,
I like it. You know what, though, there's nothing critical about asking these questions, because if we don't have the right answer, it helps us figure out what the right answer is. Dr. Mihaela asked us right at the beginning in Cardano for Climate a year ago, you know, where's the technical connection between boots on the ground and technical? And it's like, I don't know where it is. And it scared me. And ever since that question, we're working towards making that connection much more clear. So please ask your tough questions.
Having worked myself in the development sector, NGO sector, I mean, my question is there, have some agencies approached you, you know, like to solve this problem? Because I mean, even if we build the nicest technology and all that, if nobody's going to use it because they don't want to use it or so, it's not helping anybody, right? So you need to look, is there actually a problem? And those solutions which you offer, are they people willing to implement this, right? That is what my
so as far, you mean the NGOs signing up for this particular solution? Are they lining up to sign up for this?
You need both sides, right? You need the NGOs on the one hand, and then you need the donors on the other hand, right? Because it's all, this linkage needs to be connected, right? It's not just one, let's say, one agency or one actor is not enough. You need both of them for the blockchain, right? So that's the tricky part.
Raphael.
Yes, actually, as a first step, we're gonna focus on the big NGOs, the donors. So let's say you have UNICEF. UNICEF is donating to local NGOs. So in order to get the local NGOs, we're gonna get the big donors. So this way, we are helping them to track also their donations. Let's say when UNICEF is donating to a local NGO, she needs also to track this donation. So everything will be, we're gonna approach these NGOs to be listed on our platform. This way, the local NGOs will be obliged, in order to receive the fund, they need to be available on our platform. This regarding the NGOs. And regarding the donors, people like to donate. They want to support good cause, but they decrease the donations because of the lack of transparency regarding the NGO, the mismanagement, the fraud, the theft, everything. So the number of donations from people is going down. So we're giving them the solution to increase the donation, or at least to donate again via this solution. So we are giving a solution for donors and a solution for NGOs to keep getting the donation that they need in order to support the cause. And by the way, all the money that we're gonna receive as donation will be strictly used for the cause and not for covering expense of the NGOs.
Yoram, you had your hand up. Did you have a question?
No, I think Raphael answered very nicely the question. And I mean, Jeremy, it's a last mile problem, right? I mean, the problem is that how much money really get to the ground and what's the impact on the ground. And most people cannot answer it today, unfortunately, in many industries, including in NGOs.
Yeah, but that's a problem, you know, like if you show me the data, that it would be the case, but it's not the case, right? I mean, there is a lot of professional NGOs all working, and they have, you know, like on how much money they waste in that sense, or or like having the data of showing me that there's a certain percentage of people not donating anymore because they don't trust NGOs anymore. That would be valid claims, right? So yeah.
Look, I worked for NGOs for several years. They were very big ones. And I live in Geneva, by the way, and I can tell you 100% that most of the money doesn't go to the ground. Without seeing the data, I mean, okay, you don't want, look, I had today a call with microfinance industry, okay? I know this industry also very well. I can tell you they don't know what's the impact on the ground. The big players that give as much money as you can imagine.
Well, one thing, measuring the impact on the ground is a different question, right? I mean,
but that's the key. How much money get to the ground and what's the impact?
You're right. How much money getting to the ground and having an impact is two different questions, right?
Sounds like it's a big challenge that we have to work together on to get this.
Yeah, I'm happy to. Yeah.
So George has his hand up. We are going over time. Just quick, are there any other presenters that want to show their proposal? Otherwise, we can just carry on the conversation. People can drop off if the time is getting too late or you're done. I think we could be here for another maybe 15, 20 minutes just for group discussion on what we've heard today. Is that okay? And George, you're up. You ask your question. Oh, I'm going to shut that off and you're on mute somehow. All right, keep the conversation going. George, you just jump in when you get that.
Can you hear me?
There we go.
Okay. Yeah, great project. Like I really like the blockchain to track the information, and technology-wise, it is there. It's even money tracking is a tough one. Even you can say, okay, Cardano, for example. Right now, Cardano Foundation has 16 million. So do we know where it goes in every bit? And can we say 100% goes to the project because it is in blockchain? And so it is a classic question like accountability and responsibility of each user and how trustworthy we are, how reputable we are in what we are doing. So blockchain is a nice solution for developing countries, especially where the corrupt governments and politicians take out a big chunk of the money. In India, we can say the same from the projects. It's not about the availability of money, in most countries, I can say that it's not the availability of money by itself, it's the amount of money that goes to the actual points where it really needs to go. And hope the blockchain can be that solver in this and enable us in taking the technology and the idea forward. So look forward to that.
Yeah.
You're up next, and Sean, I've noticed you've come off mute and on video. So if you've got a question, you can put up your hand. We're a big enough group to put up your hand if you need to.
I agree with you. It's not availability of money, 100%. It's just where the money goes. And I learned from some very smart people dealing in these areas. If something exists for 20 or 30 years, whatever it is, carbon market, certification, NGOs, and there's no change, there is a problem, right? And if you look and start analyzing any one of these markets, you see the money that they give, where they actually goes. And a lot of the money goes, doesn't go to the ground in general. So you ask why they continue to give it? Because they get the certificate they need to get. And unfortunately, there's no transparency enough. That's my view on that. And I would love to have transparency, full transparency, so then people can judge, right? And that's project like Raphael trying to do. But today, if you give to the Red Cross, how much actually go to the ground? It's a good question. And I have dear friends working for the Red Cross.
This generation and the availability of technologies can enable one more step in this process, and accountability and having the data right in front of us and allowing everyone to look at it and ask the question. Now, in Cardano can ask the question, everyone can join the governance committee and review the reports of every project. So there are things that are coming in place with the blockchain and the crypto as a community, and the openness of the society and asking things on a global scale. It's not from the Western world to the Africa or India. It's like everyone coming together in this journey. So that is also a very powerful enabler in this Cardano community.
Boaz has another presentation for a friend with sketchy internet. Boaz, which one is it? Okay, there we go. Returning Raphael.
But Sean wanted to say something before, no? We jumped him?
I assumed he did because he was off mute and he came on video. I'm watching. Okay, so Boaz is up for another one. I'm going to set the timer, and there we go. Okay, here we go, Boaz. You're up. And I think you're on mute still. Boaz, you're still on mute. Isn't technology fun, you guys? Come on. Okay, Raphael, thank you so much for being here. Appreciate that.
Great.
Boaz, there you are. I hear you.
Yeah. Oh, great. Here's my proposal. I'm gonna present it from my mates whose network is worse now. Great. The proposal is my digital library, as you can see in front of your screens. Great. Yes. Do you hear me, please?
Yes.
In a world without libraries, it would be difficult to advance research and knowledge, or to preserve for future generations the knowledge and heritage accumulated by humanity. As pathways to knowledge and culture, libraries occupy a decisive place in society. This library makes available in real time books in agronomic, environmental, and technological sciences. what we have nowadays for experience, we have a small library, a physical one. And about the impact of our proposal, synonymous with education, libraries provide countless learning opportunities that can stimulate economic, social, and cultural development. Not only do libraries launch books, but they also reproduce materials for research or private study. Students do not have the means to acquire each of the books or to pay for each of the television programs or journals to which they must be able to access their studies. So they depend on the services of a library. Exceptions and limitations, which are an integral part of many national copyright systems, play a crucial role in enabling libraries to provide such services. My digital library is gonna make available books regarding agronomic, environmental, and technological sciences to enable teachers and students to better conduct their research. We thought about to put even books regarding to blockchains, particularly Cardano blockchain, so that people may have access to materials from the blockchain. We'll be charging our batteries in Catalyst school so that we may have materials from the blockchains. I don't know if I still having time to continue.
That's the 3 minutes. Do you have,
Great.
can you wrap it up really quick?
This library will help increase the number of resources and dApp existing on the Cardano blockchain, because it will be like a gold mine for anyone wanting to learn and to make research in agronomic, environmental, and technological sciences. Apart from that, problems related to the preservation and transmission of works to future generations are almost non-existent in the case of ebooks. Indeed, these are stored in virtual libraries that protect them from deterioration. We'll be in need of 12,500. That's the main idea of our proposal. Thank you. Any
Thank
question?
you, Boaz.
Great.
All right, and the links to connect with you would be great in the chat. Any questions for Boaz?
Yeah, it's already there in the chat.
Perfect. Come on, we've got to give him some hard questions. Sean, thank you.
To be honest, this is not a question for Boaz directly. I just wanted to use the last few minutes to quickly introduce myself. So Yoram recommended that I tune into this. I'm the co-founder of ImpactScope. We also have some proposals in for Fund9. I'll paste them in the group. But my main reason for coming here was I'd like to make contacts in the Cardano community, specifically in Kenya and Uganda. So if there's anybody here in those countries, I travel there regularly and would love to meet Cardano enthusiasts and impact-focused entrepreneurs who are interested in exploring use cases. That's all I wanted to say.
Perfect. Thank you, Sean. That was not a hard question. I wish you would ask me stuff like that. Just want to connect. That's good. Anybody else for Boaz? You know what I get really concerned about is that this is not on our list. We don't have this proposal on our impact list for one reason or another. Going through the 1,100 proposals on idea scale, we can't find everything It would be up to the proposer to submit it. We don't vet the ones that are on the list that we have 100, 200 proposals about. You know, that's a big, huge challenge in itself. And hopefully we can have more of these impact fests where we can get together and meet face to face to figure out if these are real or not. Oh, I'm running out of my own time. But yeah, so that being said, Boaz, how do you see this being social and or environmental impact? How do you see this proposal being a social or environmental impact proposal?
Are you asking for about my proposal?
Yes.
Great. We think that if there could be a digital library in which we can provide environmental and agronomic books, it can help people to preserve the environment, and we think to make their services with low price according to others. And for social part, we think people will not be lose much time for going in physical libraries. Yeah, it's like that. I think you are getting me difficulty because I'm from a French country.
And that's, I do understand you. I get it. Education, access to education is huge. Access to true information is huge. So
Right.
It feels like I'm asking you a tough question, but I kind of know the answer already. And I do agree that this has social impact. And having the fact that you don't have to hop in your car and drive to a library is helpful as well. Once we can figure out the environmental impact of Zoom calls and all the digital end of stuff too, but for now, this is good. I think we're going to wrap this up pretty quick. Anybody else? Closing comments, discussions, tough questions, you name it. Oh, I think everybody's tired. It's Friday, isn't it? Yeah. So let's keep this going, keep the connections going somehow. We've got more mini impact town halls coming up. Latam, September 1st, if I'm correct. C4C, we have weekly meetups on Wednesdays, 3 p.m. UTC. Always open to hearing from presenters. I'm going to drop the link in the C4C Telegram chat if you're not part of it already. And then you can see more stuff going on there. Okay. Anything else for closing remarks? Okay, we're done. Or I should do what Newman does.
Thanks a lot, Melanie.
Yeah, thanks for organizing.
Okay, good. It's a lot of work. This is a lot of work, but it's worth it. If we can start getting together, stop duplicating everything, and make this Cardano the blockchain of impact. Whew. And I'm having a hard time finding that link here for our Telegram. Okay.
From the ImpactFest to Melanie, like we can probably in future connect more projects into the system. Like, so say, okay, you 10 projects, you need to find a way to work together.
Right. Well, see, and that's the other thing. CONMA Pitch Fest is one of the ones that set off the pace on this one. And I think CONMA's ideas of taking proposers through the whole system and working on the impact, the business end of stuff. And what's the third piece, George? CONMA's. Are you looking at chats? Or are you listening to me?
No.
George?
I just a little bit lost on that. So you are saying include, involve, and incentivize. Is that what you asked for, or did I miss something in this?
I'm thinking we have, this is what chats do, it distracts you. Conma's pitch ground, from what I understand from Vinay, is that he'll take proposers, they come in and they give a pitch, and the team in Conma will take you right through from beginning to end. Give us a 1-minute pitch on Conma and what that's all about.
Okay, yeah, from Conma, we look at, okay, let me.
Caught you right off guard.
Yeah, okay, yeah, Conma is Japanese word for kama. So we really look for connections and collaboration. So that is our strength, and the way we are trying to approach it is a little bit different, to go to the colleges and students to enable more students to understand what Web3 and blockchain is about, and enter into the decentralizing finance. What does finance mean? What are the banks and governments doing? What does the crypto journey mean? And what does Cardano Catalyst can do in this journey? So Conma as a team is trying to put that together and say, okay, these are the core team members, and these are the ideas. And when you pitch it, okay, how can we bridge these between teams, and how can we enable a student in an art school who is doing very good arts and say, okay, you can come into here and do NFT, or work with the teams in designing something so unique for the crypto community. You're a content writer, so how do you write for blockchain? So we are doing that kind of a Web3 bridge, and leveraging the students in this process so that the fresh stream of input is coming from the students and into the upskill movement. So that is the journey we are taking, and we are working with more colleges and universities in India. And we are also looking at few connections in abroad, like Virginia Tech is one you're looking at in future, and Oman is another, in Muscat, another university we are looking at. So we are trying to reach out more universities, and that is one of the challenge setting. We have said we will try to reach 1,000 universities. No one likes 1,000, they want 100, so we'll probably scale it to 100.
Well, I think the example that you have set up is absolutely amazing, and hopefully we'll see that happening in more areas for sure. Okay, I think I'm seeing everybody kind of dropping off for attention wise. This has been a long time. Thank you so much for joining us on this first mini Impact Fest, and we'll keep this going. So with that, thank you very, very much for attending. And any other questions, any things before I shut down the meeting? 5, 4, 3, 2.
No, no.
Other
Thank you for.
You're going to jump in, and you're just going to keep it going. Okay, thank you all for coming, and we'll see you soon. Okay.
Thank you, Melanie,
Ciao.
for managing it.
Thank you, Melanie.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
It kind of makes sense.
This meeting is being recorded.
Hello. Yeah, have you guys finished, Melanie?
We have. Did my recording come over? Oh, it must have.